Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissett, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you are joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very much. And you know, it's this time of the season when we're trying to think about, trying to help others. Well, when we welcome in the Terrebonne Churches United Foodbank, they're always helping others. We welcome in Lawewnce DeHart, of course, who is the Executive Director. Welcome, Lawewnce. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sitting next to him, the one and only Spud McConnell. Spud, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, thanks, man. Nice to see you.
I appreciate that.
Was Santa Claus good to you?
Santa was very good to me, and my family. How about yourself?
Oh, man. It's a long story, but we have this outside cat, and it was so freezing cold. My wife went nuts trying to make sure this cat survived and going, hey, that cat's 10, 12 years old. It survived.
Right.
But that's what I spent my Christmas doing, baking little outdoor heated spots for this cat.
Very nice.
But the cat survived.
So this is you thinking of others. It's what you guys do.
That was
and
me,
so you do it at work, you do it at home,
Yeah.
and so it's appreciated.
It's
Well,
a
Spud,
cat, but yeah. It's a cat.
So it's interesting, the year of the cat. It's been interesting. There's been a song about it and those kinds of things. But speaking of those things that are worth celebrating, let's talk about 35 years.
35 years, can you believe that? The TCU Foodbank has been around for 35 years.
It's
We've been here every day for 35 years. Well, not Sundays.
Right.
Yeah. But,
but you're providing enough food for people to have a good Sunday.
Yeah, it started out in a little 2,800 square foot warehouse, and we're about to build our third warehouse, which is nothing going to be just a gigantic cooler, a big freezer that we can drive forklifts into, so we can because we have to, because we have that many people coming to us in need.
That volume.
So we have to expand.
Right.
So, you know, when Lawewnce took over, they were still in that small space.
Right.
And we since moved into the bigger one. Then we built another warehouse with another freezer, and then we'll build this other freezer. And then hopefully, once we get a loading dock, we won't be building anything else for a good while.
Right.
But
You'll
the
be
fact of the
set.
matter is 35 years, and we've been there every day. We don't play around, man. This is what we do. We help people who are in need.
Right.
And we do it every day, and we've been here for 35 years. So we're going to celebrate that in February.
Right.
And the 23rd.
Okay.
And we are going to be in Courthouse Square, and we're going to eat some jambalaya and have a couple of cold drinks.
Right.
But we're also inviting muckety mucks. We're inviting the governor. We're inviting the lieutenant governor. We're inviting Steve Scalise. We're inviting John Kennedy. We're inviting Garrett Graves. We're inviting all these bigwigs to come. Some of them are going to show up.
Right.
We're getting proclamations out of all of them. So it's going to be, you know, I mean, we're pretty proud, man. We're busting it at the seams.
And you should be. And Lawewnce, you should be one of those people, you never take credit for it, and it's just your nature to not, but you should be very proud of what this food bank has been able to do in our community and communities, as we'll talk about a little bit later. But you've got to feel proud about what you've been able, you and your team have been able to do.
We have an incredible staff, but one of the things that this is Terrebonne Parish this is all because of the people of Terrebonne Parish.
Right.
They're the ones that donate the money. They've shown us the support. They have embraced us, and they have worked with us over the years. All these things would not have happened without the people of Terrebonne. While there are other things being built and as such in Terrebonne, this is about the people. We're there to fill in the gaps where the government doesn't reach or whether certain organizations don't reach. To us, this is still about the people. And we don't look at anybody's, we don't look at, all I see is people in need and hearts. And so when we get up every morning, the team just embraces that. And while we now, once the last building is completed, we will have the capabilities of serving over 50,000 people a year. We're going to hedge on 30,000 this year, but it takes money. It takes, so we're going to work harder next year because every year for the last 4 years, it's been exponential growth.
Right.
And because the people here need it. And so our mission is to step up where other people are not stepping up, and is to help those that we can.
Well, and that's some incredible numbers. You talk about 30,000, and next year anticipating being able to do that for 50,000.
Hopefully, it's not going to be 50 next year, but we are
the capabilities of.
At the rate that we are growing, we are going to need all the facilities we have because we're going to reach 50.
Wow.
That's a lot of people to feed.
It just is, and it's tremendous growth, and it's tremendous challenges in that growth. As we talked about last time you guys were here, the volume of trying to provide the same amount of food that we did 35 years ago, it's some 7 to 10 times more expensive just to provide some of those basic needs, eggs, chicken, bread, all these things that we talked about, milk. And it's remarkable that you can do it as well as you do with the challenges that we're faced with, COVID, storms, all of those things, and you keep growing to share that people need things. It's remarkable to be able to do it.
Well, when you bring on, and we joke, he's got a humorous side to him, but he's also very much
stop.
No, it's true. It's this side over here. This is the humorous.
The popular side's on one side and the working side's on the other. I'm
That's
sorry,
what
Lawewnce.
He works hard, and
Right.
sometimes I
Passionately.
hate to go lean into his office and go, Spud, I need money for this, and he's going to hit me with a stick one time. But realize that on our operational budget, which is this past year, which was about $850,000, we will provide this year over $2.4 to $2.5 million worth of food. That's pretty efficient.
When you give out the numbers that you give and when you talk about the volume of people helped, we did a whole lot for Thanksgiving, and you guys are going to do a whole lot for Christmas.
Yes.
We did a whole lot for
Right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And we did 10 distributions in 9 days, and we served over 1,750 people. That's not quite the poundage. We don't quite have that number yet. And while most people think that the year ends on Christmas Eve
doesn't.
with us, no. We have a whole lot of things that are coming on. We have inventory. We do, because we get grants from various places to operate, we have to do audited, we have to get financials and audits, and we get inspected from the Board of Health just like everybody else. We have to have occupational licenses just like everybody else. And
my God, the insurances like everybody else.
Yeah, my accountant informed me that we spend about $85,000 a year just insuring the buildings, that and flood, because we just don't have the money to replace them.
Right. It's one of those things. But you guys, 1,700 people for Christmas,
Alone, yeah.
and that's probably 1,700 families.
Families runs, there's average of about 3. If you take it, the family size is averaged about 3 here. So, but the seniors are the ones that's still our warning bell at this point, because we are seeing an inordinately high amount of people who are on fixed incomes, and there's not a whole lot that they can do. We're looking at the economic numbers for next year so we can try to judge, and Spud's pretty good at lifting my spirits, but we have been operating at an accelerated pace the last couple of years because of COVID and then the storm, but it doesn't look like that pace is going to stop for next year. And when y'all keep me in y'all prayers, just give us strength, because we don't have a huge staff, and we're going to look at, it seems, we're hoping not, but maybe have an equal this year again next year.
We rely a lot on volunteers. We
Volunteers,
really do.
right.
Just,
And
just to do the hands-on stuff of actually packing the boxes,
Right,
sorting
right.
through stuff and bagging it up, so when we
Right.
do distribution, it can flow as smoothly as possible. Because when you're running that many people in about 2.5 to 3.5 hours,
Right.
and you got cars lined up all the way down Crescent and all the way down Barrow Street
Right.
for people going. And what are you going to tell them? No.
Right. And so it's a great time to ask for two things. We need people and we need money.
Always.
It's both of these things, right? And you took the words out of my mouth. It's always a need. So when people have time, please come donate your time, because it's very valuable. And when you have the money, know that what you're doing is helping people. But let's talk about the volume. Let's talk about this map of whom you're really helping, because I don't think people realize it. So Jen, put that up if you don't mind. Look at the volume of where the food bank is helping people by zip code. It's a remarkably interesting picture, because it's like a cloud in the sky. You can make lots of different ideas of what this may or may not be. A pretty sick crawfish.
With heartburn.
Or a buffalo, or a dragon. I mean,
Dragon,
you can go lots of
something
different
like
places, but what it is the crawfish is coming out of the ground to serve people. The dragon is spreading its fire to heat and warm the hearts of people who are getting food. and the buffalo is carrying the load to this many places. It's remarkable.
Are you squinting when you see all that?
No. What do you see here?
Yeah,
I
it's a
see
Rorschach test. Oh my
yeah.
God! Yeah.
I see volume of people getting help that I just don't think people realize how many you're helping.
Yeah.
And where.
We one of the things that people don't realize that everybody loves the seafood in New Orleans, but where do you think it comes from? You know, we feed more people around the world with the abundance of what is here in Terrebonne Parish and in Lafourche, and so it's not just what we bring in and take from the marshes and for what God has blessed us with. We take the extras and the God blessing, and you can see in that we feed other people with those blessings. So you know, it's not just the culture, it's a cultural thing, and we've always been about feeding people. And this map is a testament to the people of Terrebonne and Lafourche and all those organizations who support us, that we're able to not just help the people who can afford to pay big money for ball crawfish, which is really great in season, but you know, they step forward and going, those who can't afford it, we're going to still help you as best we can.
Jen, put it back up one more time, because I just want people to realize, look at the various zip codes and the outer areas that are being helped over in LaPlace, over in Franklin, of course in Thibodaux, and all of Terrebonne Parish. But
Chauvin,
it is remarkable. Down in Chauvin, exactly. All of those areas down in Lafourche. It's remarkable what you guys are doing with what you have, and you still need more. And again, thank you, Jen. It's so important for people to realize they can make a difference. If you can make a difference writing a check, do that. If you can make a difference spending a Saturday, do that. If you can make a difference when you've had some job changes and you need to really fill some time, do that, because we need it.
We're also innovating. It's tough for somebody to come down to the main campus, so we're adding food pantries. While we always had some between Dulac and Schriever and Thibodaux and as such, we've added to By Blue Assembly of God. They're now a food pantry. We've added in Chauvin, and we're adding 2 more just in the parish to see about getting more food pinpointing to where the need is.
More importantly for what you've done, but I'm excited about what we're looking forward to. There's some really good things coming in 2023.
We are working with a local company because we like to spend our money locally.
Sure.
Jason is helping us with putting together a new app. This app is going to be absolutely incredible. It's far more than what my vision was going to be when we sat down. With this app, the first thing you're going to do, instead of sitting in line, and we have to do mile screening, we have to know who is asking for food. We have to know income ranges so we can determine the need, and everybody in the household who we're going to be helping.
Right.
It's fairly simple, but it can be tedious. And when you've got 165 cars in line, it becomes long. So
Right.
Jason is helping us put together an app where it's you can go online. It's going to be free to download. It's going to work in both formats, and this app's going to do a whole lot of things. First off, if you're going to be a client, and just about everybody has a smartphone.
Sure.
You can go online, answer the questions, take your photo ID, take a picture of it, take your proof of income, and take a picture of it. And once it's there, it's going to generate a barcode. So when you're going to come into our line, you simply will go ahead and click on the app. It's going to have a barcode come up. We're going to scan it in, and we're going to put a number on the car so our loadout crew knows how much food to put in your car, and you're going to drive forward. So it is going to be that quick and that easy. The other thing that the app is going to do is we're going to be an information resource for all these parish services, and not just parish, but there are other charitable organizations who can help with housing, rental assistance,
Social
services,
Right, yeah.
social services,
Right,
guys.
psychiatric needs, all of those things,
Oh
right?
my God, yes.
Yeah, we're going to put your cell number on this.
Listen, when I say I'm willing to help, I'm telling you I'm willing to help.
Because a lot of people are coming to us that are literally stressed, and while I can feed their belly, I can pray with them, and I can offer them, I can point you in the direction that you need to go to get permanent long-term help. But we just don't have the resources. So we depend upon organizations like you and yours to help the people on areas in which that are outside of our purview. So there's going to be that information. Another section is going to be working with what we're part of the EOC, and we work with Earl, and it's going to have, during the storm, they were getting information out to the public was difficult. So this app is not only going to work off the internet, but it work off of cell, and that's important to me because it's a lot easier to keep cell service than it is internet. And so we're going to have a listing of all the shelters, and we're going to red light and green light when they're open and when they're closed, and what are the requirements, and all the information that the EOC gets out. It's going to be sent as a blast email tied in with that. So we're going to make it available. And it's not just when hurricanes. We get floods, we get tornadoes, we get freezes.
Freezes, right?
Yes. And so when this information goes out, we're going to be able to send emails. And not just, well, we can do a blast text, like everybody likes getting the text messages at 2 in the morning from the EOC. We love the information, just the timing's kind of interesting. But you're going to have that, and we're going to be able to communicate directly with those in need. And it's not just, it's to help people better get along. And Jason has been, I was very impressed. It does far more than what it does, about 4 or 5 things. We're going into beta testing about the middle of January, and we will roll it out here first. We'll get y'all a chance to see it. But it's it'll work on both, on both if you have an Apple or what's Android. So, but
the thing of it is too, is you need to understand that not just our clients. Anybody can download this, because you may know somebody who needs help, or you don't even know that there are services out there. So you can download this thing and have all of this stuff right at your fingertips to help either you, someone you know, someone in your family. So
and quite frankly, it's one of those things where I very often call and say, hey, I've got a family in need, when I can help them with this app, or they can have a family member help them with this app and get them connected so much more quickly, get them their food much more quickly, and expedite your process when you're providing it so much more quickly.
Well, a lot of people are also, they're proud, or they, don't want to. So this limits the amount of people you're going to be in contact to us. And we do not judge you. This is what you need. This is where you're at. Here you go.
This
Put
is
it
what we
right in the trunk
provide.
of your car, and away you go.
like Spud was saying, shame-free. It's a thing where you don't have to look at somebody and go, well, oh, this is a limit. You put the information in. When you're going to come in, it's just a barcode. And like Spud said, nobody judges. We're just going to sit there and make sure you qualify and you can help.
And just getting people the help that they need in a more efficient manner, and in a way that they feel better about getting what they need, instead of feeling badly about asking. So it's a great way. It's almost where COVID introduces us for some distancing. Sometimes there's some good distancing when it comes to having to ask for help, because people have pride and they don't always want to do that. But Spud, thank you for what you do, and the comical way that you do it, and the efficiency in how you do that comically. It makes people want to work with you. It makes people want to help you. It makes people want to give you money. And I like that. And I appreciate
give
it.
me money. I'll do a show.
Whatever
put
it
on
takes.
My tap shoes.
That's right. And Lawewnce, thank you for your dedication for so many years, and congratulations on 35 years of helping people and making a difference for those who are hungry. It does not go unnoticed. And so from us here, and as a social worker here in our community, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Happy holidays, and Happy New Year to y'all. We look forward to all the good things. And guys, Happy New Year to you, as we know that you'll be taken care of. All you have to do is ask for the help if you need it. And that'll end this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.